Shop now using J.Exquisite discount code for any Gamma Plus or Stylecraft tools. As for those of you who are interested in seeing some haircuts with the boosted trimmer and clipper, stay tuned. I will be putting those out very soon. If you are new to the channel, I did do the same with the CYBORG clipper and trimmer, but for now, I'm going to demonstrate some exquisite lines with the boosted trimmer. Back once again. You are now tuned into the underground. My name is Mbaya and I go by the Doctor. Today what I have for you, of course, is a demonstration with the Gamma Plus boosted trimmer. This is the newest drop from Gamma Plus, and they are going to be releasing a shaver really soon, and I can't wait to get that thing in my possession so that I can use it on a video using the boosted trimmer, clipper, as well as the shaver only. But I'm going to be starting off with somebody that has a little bit more coarse hair, and this thing definitely does not seem to disappoint at all. And this is straight out of the box. This is how well this thing hits. I know these could be adjusted to possibly do a better job than what they are, but in my opinion, these things are pretty much ready to go out of the box. This is doing just fine for me. You don't have to always have everything zero gapped. I always tell people all the time, stop zero gapping everything. It is not that deep. As you can see when I zoom out on this, because he does have some bit of some imperfections, some abnormalities in some of the spots on his hairline. It looked very off at first, but as you can see, it is definitely on point when I zoom out. It's not what it seems. It's just there are some imperfections that I cannot help and he cannot help, because it's just part of his setup. And this is why I say in my last video, I said, if you did watch it, I talked about the client that I had, the canvas that I had straight hair, and some people think everything is only going to do amazing on the straight hair, or good hair as some people call it, most people actually, but it's not that deep. You know, if a trimmer cuts, for example, this individual in this shot the way it does, it is what it is. That's just the best that it's going to get. Then as you can see, I have somebody more with straight hair, but it is considered a little bit, you know, on the coarse side to some, because this is a very thick beard. It is coarse, but it's more straight. Is it fine hair? No, not necessarily. It's got some bit of some brittleness to it. So this is actually very tough. And we do produce a really clean, good line on this individual in particular, because he has, of course, this Chuck Norris style beard, which is very tough, and it did well. And this is just the best that it's going to get on this individual. There's this thing where people think a trimmer should just do way over and beyond than what it's actually equipped to do, and it's going to do what it can for that one individual. Sometimes you have to improvise and use different types of trimmers or trimmer blades on different individuals based on their texture. Just because this one trimmer is able to pretty much get everybody's hair texture correctly and nice doesn't mean that it's meant to just be used everywhere on the face or on the head, as far as the temple, you know, the nape and the back of the neck. You have to improvise and use different trimmers, and especially the trimmer blades. You have to know and understand. So as you can see, that boosted definitely set up everything properly and prepped it ready for the razor, and the razor is pretty much coming behind, following up and doing an amazing job. And you know, a lot of people always think everything should be zero gap. It's not that deep, y'all. Stop zero gapping all of your tools. If it's that deep, if you have the experience to handle such a sharp blade, go for it. But what I will say is the boosted definitely did do great on mostly all my clients. And like I said, I never adjusted it. I got it straight out of the box. I tested it all on my arm and it felt great. So I felt comfortable enough to be able to use this on my different canvases. So here's what I'm going to say. I compared this thing to the Instinct as far as the size. This is probably Gamma Plus's version of the Instinct. Do they have the same motors? No. This is a super torque motor. The super torque motor on the Gamma Plus boosted is definitely on point, but is nothing compared to what they have set up with the Instinct. The Instinct is a completely different setup, but this video is not about the Instinct. It's just me trying to clear up what I said by that in case some of you were confused by what I said. But this thing gives off vibes that have many different mixes of trimmers, and you can see I'm trimming or cutting this in real time, so you can just see how efficient this blade is on a different kind of texture here, which is a little bit coarse, and to some this may be easier to cut. I don't know why people think everything's so easy to cut. It's not the case. It's just that's their setup. That's what it is. It doesn't mean you come on here and write all kinds of crazy ridiculous comments about how this individual's line this and that. Now I'm getting all off into that because people need to understand that every trimmer is meant for a different setup. Every blade set is also meant for a different setup. So some trimmers are shaped a certain way to go below the nose or get below the jawline. You know what I'm saying? The nape area. Not every trimmer is meant for every spot because of how it's shaped ergonomically is not fit for everything. Just like every blade is not set up the same for everything. That's why you need to understand what you are purchasing before you buy these items. Baseball practice?
Yeah.
So how long is that going to take?
1:30 to like 3. So like 2 hours, probably. Hour, 30 minutes.
As you can see, there is no contest here. There's no match when it comes to any hair texture in the way of this thing. It definitely eats through everything. So as you can see, there's no welting, there's no irritation, no skin trauma. I will mention this individual in particular does have a minor case of psoriasis, better known as mild psoriasis, which is less than 3% of the body. Then you have moderate psoriasis, which is 3 to 10% of the body. Then you have severe, which is more than 10% of the body, where you will see some dryness and a little bit of flaking up from the scalp. Now, for those of you who don't understand what psoriasis looks like or what it is not contagious. It is just pretty much a form of dry skin or scalp rather, you know, in this case. So don't be alarmed. It's not like my man's is just dirty. He has had a word with me. His parents have shared with me that they are on top of it, but you just can't help it. Anyway, y'all make sure you use discount code J.Exquisite for any Gamma Plus or Stylecraft tools. As you can see in this pop-up video, which I did show at the beginning, a few of these climbs or canvases that you are seeing in the pop-up video there, this thing handles every texture. I'm going to tell you again, anything in its sight, it is definitely removing it. It is taking it out. It's called the boosted for a reason. Like I said, this thing is worth the money, every penny. I guarantee this thing might have, in my opinion, a bump up above the CYBORG trimmer because of how lightweight it is and how it's easy to, you know, pretty much move around. So this hairline right here is very easy because I don't do a straightaway line in the front part of his forehead. We just do the C cups, get the vertical bar, and not only do we get the vertical bar, we slightly get the corners, if that makes any sense, the outside parts of the straightaway. We don't really get the front because he likes to keep that just kind of free forming, all natural, just as is. So I just kind of slightly get the corner right there, like boom, and that's all. I'm not going to go through the front or anything like that. He likes it more natural, and it doesn't look bad. To some people, this is a no-go. They just want everything crispy and fresh. But nowadays, people get to choose and pick how they want their haircut to look. And who am I to argue with, other than just be the barber and make sure I give these clients of mine exactly what they want, what they need, and yeah, no questions, no argument. And yeah, that's his dad in the background, by the way. My man never takes a seat. I've offered him plenty of seats before, and eventually I just gave up. I think this is his "don't mess with me" stance, unless he just is more comfortable. Some people are just comfortable standing. But anyway, he's good people. Just talking mess, y'all. But anyway, I'm gonna go around the ear in a second, and this thing has no mercy for any hair in sight. I'm talking about this thing slices, y'all. This thing gets everything super clean. Like, I'm showing you everything in this shot in real time for a reason. A lot of these shots I'm going to be showing you are in real time. I'll speed it up where necessary, but these things definitely were doing the job. And if you have not put this thing in the cart, or you haven't picked it up from any of your local beauty stores, wherever you are, if you don't have this thing, go and get it. If you know a friend that has this thing, go and get it. And it's just like I said earlier, if you haven't picked up on the fact that you need to have multiple tools to do different jobs, you need to get on that ASAP. But if you know a friend that has this thing, try it out before you even go out there and purchase anything, because you got to see what these items can really do before you spend your hard-earned money. Man, sometimes you just got to take a leap of faith and try out something, because there's nothing that Gamma Plus disappoints with. You can just simply do a little bit of some homework, a little bit of research, and see what these things look like. I hope that this video is helping you understand what this blade and the trimmer itself is made out of, because it is working, y'all. And if you're not thinking this thing is working, I'm going to remind y'all that the trimmer blade set that is on this thing is a double black diamond X Pro wide fixed blade, which is equipped with a DLC, the one deep slim tooth cutter. This thing crunches, y'all. This thing slices like butter through everything. And like I said, ergonomically, I love this thing. It might almost, it's close to almost replacing my I'm lying, but it's almost close, to replacing my hitter. But that's how I used to feel about the Rebel trimmer. I felt like it could replace my hitter, but there's nothing like the hitter. I don't know what they did with that design, but it's perfect. There's no trimmer like the hitter on the market. There's nothing like it. It's unmatched, y'all. And if you haven't tried it, you need to get on it. But this thing right here is very close because of the shape of it. And I can only imagine equipping a different blade on this thing, which I will be doing very, very soon. I'm going to throw the ES5 blade, because I got another one that came in not too long ago that I will be throwing on this trimmer just shortly after trying it out on all these people. I realized that I'm going to need another one of these trimmers and equip it with the ES5 blade. I did want to do this with the CYBORG trimmer. I wanted to get my hands on another one, but I wasn't able to do that because those things have been sold out for months now, and I'm not able to get my hands on it. I know someone has it floating around, but I haven't looked hard enough, obviously. So at this point, because of how in love I am with this boosted, I'm going to do this ES5 blade swap with the boosted. And this is not me just being hyped for a new trimmer. I know I have said this before in many of my other videos. We tend to all be very excited about the newest trimmer or the newest blade that's hot currently, and you just want to have more and more of the same thing. But I'm not exaggerating when I say that I really love this trimmer because of the size of it is what has me, and I definitely got to put the ES5 blade on this. But I'm going to keep this one in particular stock until I get my second pair of the boosted trimmer. Then I will swap the blades so that I can show y'all what the ES5 combo is going to be like with this thing, because the ES5 combo is amazing on the hitter, so I can only imagine how this will perform with the boosted. So stay tuned for that, y'all. As you can see, this line is super sharp, and just a FYI, there is no enhancements in most of my videos, as well as holding spray. I don't really use holding spray because I want y'all to see what these items can really do. There's times where you have to use some of these things that I'm talking about, such as the holding spray specifically, but I try to make sure that I show you exactly what these blades are doing before I manipulate the hair with anything, because let's face it, why would you demonstrate anything with holding sprays and enhancements and some? It's ridiculous, right? So if you know me by now, my cutting style is to help manipulate the hair first by blending it a particular way that will make sure that the final cut, as in the final lineup touch up, is enhanced looking when I apply the lineup. And I'm just detailing everything at this point, making sure that I do as much as possible to help this lineup really pop, to help this line really stand out, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't halfway do the job now. I know some of y'all cut corners out there. Some of y'all love those enhancements and little color things and all that. I'm not knocking it, because I do that, but you got to make sure you're doing what you can, staying true to the art, doing the best that you can for your clients. Then you apply the enhancements if needed, but keeping it all the way real, organic, and shining while I'm doing it, you know. But yeah, let me know what y'all thinking in the comment section, y'all. And if you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure you subscribe. Leave a comment if you have any questions. Please ask. If you don't feel like leaving a comment, you can always DM me on my social media platforms. I am on Instagram, Facebook, of course, as well as Threads. I also have a TikTok, which I really hope they won't be shutting down anytime soon, because it feels like I'm shadow banned unless everybody's going through the same thing with that TikTok, because I'm not getting no motion. I guess some people are interacting with me. I do recruit new clients and stuff like that. A little bit of engagement, which I can use more engagement. So y'all go and flood that for me. Tell a friend about me. I definitely have a lot of content that I am sitting on. I will keep on going strong for y'all and dumping many different videos that will be very, very helpful. When it comes down to Facebook, Insta, you name it, when it comes to those short videos, the reels, all that, I got y'all covered with the quick tips. I'm definitely working on it for the YouTube. Like I said, I'm trying to keep this content coming back to back. I have a lot that I'm sitting on. The more that you all engage with me, the more you motivate me to want to help more. Because if you're not really interacting, you're not really sharing my stuff, the subscription is not going up. I'm not going to be motivated, because all that tells me is nobody is watching. No one really cares. But it's besides the point here. It's just I don't want to be talking to myself in these videos. I want to be talking to the people. I want to be talking to the barbers. I want to be talking to the stylists. Anybody that is interested in elevating themselves, getting their game to the top exquisite level that it can be. Keep on watching. Interact. Engage, y'all. So if there's anything you're not quite understanding, please ask. It doesn't matter if you get super lengthy with the question, I will answer it. But anyway, this trimmer is so amazing to me. It just has so many different things in it. It has the hitter in it. It has the saber in it. It has the instinct in it. It has everything in it. But this, I believe, may be the last clip in this video. And I got my little man. This is one of my favorite people in the world. He can be a lot, but he is definitely fun to, of course, service. And I did use the boosted clipper on him for his taper, as well as using the trimmer, the boosted trimmer, to line him up with. And some of you will judge me for this haircut. I'm sure it doesn't look perfect. He is 4. Okay, I know some people think cutting a 4-year-old is easy, but no, it is difficult. It's not a thing easy about this. This is a challenge. It's really a headache if you ask me, but I get it done. And the fights that kids put up are crazy, but the main reason why I am demonstrating how well this trimmer did on him is to show you that there's no welting, there's no irritation, there's no trauma to the skin, and that is what is important. I need you to know that this trimmer is definitely kid friendly. It's safe, it's not as loud. It can be a little bit louder compared to the Saber, for example, or the CYBORG. It's loud, okay? It's not extremely loud to the point where it's like unbearable. It's just you hear it. So you have to kind of trade light with this thing, Don't turn this on behind the kid. Turn it on in front of them so they see you turning it on and stuff like that. Otherwise, that's why you use stuff like the Saber or the CYBORG. It's more quiet. And he was letting me have it in this video. But anyway, this is just the beginning of how this lineup went on the left side of his head. If you want to see the rest of this video, tap in on the next video following up after this one, which is going to show you some of the full process of the lineup. And if you are interested in seeing a kid haircut and how to go about a kid haircut, how to communicate with the kid, please leave a comment, subscribe to this channel, y'all. I got all the gems dropping back to back to back to back. But anyway, I'll catch y'all on the next one.